like nostalgic snacks that you see and you want to give them to your children, and then you realize that they're full of all kinds of gunk and preservatives and things, or there's no way that they would not be disgusting. Months ago, my husband asked me if Fig Newtons are healthy. And while they're not like Fruit Loops or anything, they still have to be full of things that we aren't going to find in our own kitchens, because if they weren't, there's no way that they would be fresh and good when they're not fresh anymore. They would be stale and hard as rocks and probably moldy and gross. So this recipe is one that I adapted from Weelicious.com. Hers is also whole wheat, like Fig Newtons are, but they still have refined sugar in them, and I wanted to make a version with no refined sugar and no refined flour. So this one is all honey. It's just 7 ingredients, super simple and easy, just a basic cookie with a fig puree in the middle, and we are going to jump in. We are going to start by creaming up our butter and honey, and then we're going to add an egg.
Okay. Not yet. I'm trying to pick up something.
I am.
Drop it around.
So we are just creaming together 6 tablespoons of butter and half a cup of honey. My butter was not as soft as I wanted it to be, so I threw the whole bowl in the microwave for about 10 seconds to soften it up a little bit.
I want to turn. Not yet.
Okay, who's going to add the egg? Nice job. 1 egg and a teaspoon of vanilla. Now this cookie is super simple because our only dry ingredient is flour. We have 2 cups of whole wheat flour here. We're gonna add most of it.
I want to mix flour.
Go for it.
Mix.
We're gonna save just a little bit of the flour out just in case it doesn't need all of it.
I got this.
Okay. Okay, we are gonna end up using all 2 cups of this flour, which is what I expected, but you know, better safe than sorry.
Touch a piece.
Okay, our dough is done. I'm gonna set this aside while I finally get this figs pureed. All right, while the kids were getting dressed, I got our figs chopped up and soaking in some boiling water. Now I'm just gonna drain that water out, but I'm gonna save just a little bit of it for our puree. I'm just gonna cover it with this washcloth. My brain is not functioning great today, so sorry about that. To use it basically as a strainer. And I'm gonna just strain it into another bowl so I can save the liquid, right? Riley, can you dump these in? What are they, do you remember?
Cookies.
These are figs. We have 1 cup of chopped figs. And then we're gonna add a tablespoon of the water that they were soaked in. So at this point, we're gonna taste them and see if we want them any sweeter, because honestly, I don't think we really need any more sweetness, but you could add a couple teaspoons of honey at this point to the puree.
I need to go pee.
No, they're fine. So this would work better if I had a smaller food processor, because it pushes everything up against the sides. Guys, so it's not the smoothest puree you've ever seen, but if you just keep pushing it down and every few seconds and going at it again, it'll work even if in a big food processor like this.
I'm practicing supper. There we go.
We're gonna split the dough in half. We're gonna roll out each half to be about 12 inches
I go and do it.
by about 4 inches.
I'm making a new island.
No, we're just gonna squish these in a little bit. Gentle, don't roll it out so far that it's super thin. Gonna squish that back in if you need to.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Mama.
Hi, sweetheart. All right, we're gonna spread half of our fig filling on each one. Yeah.
On mine. Spread? With what?
With the spoon.
You're doing good.
Yeah, he was doing good, but now he's throwing a fit.
I fold a fit.
It does happen sometimes, doesn't it? Now what we want to do is we want to fold them over. So you're gonna, this is why rolling them out on the mat works nicely, because we're gonna pick up the mat and fold it over. Can you help me? We want to match up the edges. peel it back this way.
Peel, 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 peel.
And we're just gonna seal up our edges here. I'm gonna just sort of squoosh these edges under because I don't want the look of like a pie crust crimping on the edge. So I'm just sort of scrunching them under. That's a word. So now we're gonna cut these into about 1-inch sections. So we should get 12
I want a bar.
out of each.
I want a bar.
2, 3, 4, 5. Well, maybe we'll only get 10. And then we're just gonna separate them out a little bit from each other. No,
Mom, I
thank
want
you.
a bar.
No,
It's 11, Rowie.
okay, I'm gonna get these in the oven at 350 for 13 to 15 minutes. And that is it.
Happy! Happy!
Happy what?
Thank you. Thanks for baking with us. It's almost Christmas. Bye.
It's not almost Christmas.
Yes, it is!
Thank you for watching and baking with us today. It is so much fun to do this with you guys, and make sure to subscribe so that you can come back and bake some more with us. We're constantly trying to find ways to get better at eating our food the way that God intended it to be instead of with all the gunk. So we are happy to have you along for the ride. See you next time.